Welcome to another video. My name is Stef. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach, and what I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs to help them to do very deep levels of healing so that they're able to achieve a greater level of soul alignment, and as a result of achieving this level of soul alignment, they're then able to have their greatest level of success, impact, influence, and income. This video teaching is coming to you directly from my Facebook community. So I have a Facebook community that is full of amazing spiritual peeps. It's a loving, supportive space. So if you want to come and join us there, the links to my social media is in the description of this video, as well as the link to my community, so you can come and request to join us by going to that link. But I do weekly teachings in my community as well, so this is where you're getting this video teaching from. And I also do live teachings every Friday on YouTube. So if you want to see teachings like this and others, be sure to subscribe to my channel and come join me on Facebook if that is something that speaks to you. So today I was feeling really inspired to talk about this topic today, okay? Because also when I tuned in with my guides, they also asked me to speak to this, and this is what I'm going to be doing. So today I'm talking about mistakes spiritual entrepreneurs make that cost them thousands of dollars and hold them back from making their impact, okay? So let's get into this video. The first thing that I want to talk about is that what quite often holds a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs back from being able to make generous amounts of money and to make their impact is they focus on too many things. They're very scattered. They have trouble focusing on one thing, okay? And this is because a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs are usually individuals that are more of a kind of flowy kind of energy, kind of creative, and they have so many passions and interests. And I know this is true for a lot of people today, to have lots of different passions and interests, but spiritual entrepreneurs, they have, you know, energy work that they do, and card readings and healing and making herbal remedies and crystals and all of the different things. And they want to do all the things. They want to do all the things, and they're trying to do all the things, trying to offer many different services connected to all of their different interests, and they're just so scattered. They don't really have a fixed niche. They don't know how to cohesively bring together everything that they know in a way that really works and speaks to a specific target audience. So this is what holds a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs back, because for spiritual entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship in general, you have to have a certain niche that you speak to if you want to grow very quickly in your business, okay? Now, there are some people that are exceptions to that rule, 100%. So if you feel like you're one of those people, do your thing and you'll see for yourself whether it works for you or not. But most people need to have a clear niche in order to build their businesses from that space, because they're able to specifically attract people in regards to those specific things. They're able to speak to that very clearly, so their marketing is more effective, and they're able to really help people achieve a specific result. And this builds off again and again and again. So a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs is they are all over the place. They want to do all the different things. And then on top of that, a lot of times they resist narrowing down a specific niche that they want to work with, because they don't want to be boxed in. Spiritual entrepreneurs are super resistant a lot of times to not being boxed in, not following the crowd. This kind of, there's a lot of resistance there. And I totally understand that, because I've been on that path. So I speak from experience, okay? A lot of the things here on this list that I'm going to give you today for this video are things that I have gone through. I think I've done all of them. So I get it. But you need to understand that if you want to have the greatest level of success and you want to make money to move forward and create a bigger impact with this money, right? Then you need to have a clear focus as to who you're helping. And it doesn't mean that you have to stop doing all the different things that you're interested in, but you need to figure out how to bring it together cohesively to address a specific issue that you're going to help people with, so you can help them move forward, and you can speak to that again and again in your teachings and your marketing and whatever it is that you do. So this is why it's so super important, and this is what holds a lot of people back, because then when you're offering oracle cards on one hand over here to, I don't know, predict about anything that people want to ask about, or you're doing crystals over there, or you're doing healing energy on just anyone, like you're not really speaking to anyone specifically. You're just kind of putting a general net out there. It's like you're throwing a net out into the ocean, but you're not going where the actual fish that you want to get are. Like you're just throwing it out there and you don't even know if there's like any fish there. or maybe there's just like a few fish there, but your net's not going to really be effective. You need to kind of go to where the fish are, and that's how you do it, through being very specific. Okay. Hope that made sense. So that's the first mistake that I see a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs make, especially. There is nothing wrong with getting clear on what your niche is, on getting a specific target audience that you want to speak to. There's nothing wrong with that. You really have to revise your resistance around that, your beliefs around that, to shift that, because being clear on what your niche is doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a really good thing if you choose to see it in that way, if you choose to shift your beliefs and stuff. So it's in your best interest to shift your beliefs in a way that works for you, so that you feel good about speaking to a specific audience in regards to the work that you do. Okay. So, and what I want to say to this, that I feel called to say, is that niching down a lot of times is the way to make the biggest impact, because you're helping a group of people specifically with that. And you start off with a small group of people, but because you're helping them with a specific thing, then you expand and you expand and you expand, and you're able to reach more and more people with a specific thing. And as you grow in your business and with your impact, you're able to then go down other different avenues. You won't have to be boxed in forever necessarily. Okay. But you will start off with this thing and be really good at it, and then be able to expand to reach more and more people, and then branch off and do other new things. So it allows for you to make a big impact, because you're actually being effective at reaching people and helping them with something specific, and then reaching more people with that kind of thing. And then you can just kind of diversify and do other things in your business. That is how it can benefit you to really shift your perspective around that, because it doesn't have to be anything negative to niche down. Okay, it's not gonna help you to make an impact if you're not really specific on who you're helping with and with what, and you're just wanting to help whoever, and you're not really helping anyone. You're not really reaching very many people because you're not specific enough, and so then you're not really helping anyone at all, and that doesn't allow for you to make your impact at all, right? So it costs you lots of money as well when you're not really reaching people, because you're not making that money that you have the potential to if you would just get clear on what your niche is. Okay, so that is number one for this thing. Okay. Number two is, I see a lot of people make the big mistake of resisting their soul's purpose. Okay. And I talk about soul's purpose a lot. I've been speaking about it since the beginning of 2020, because I made radical shifts in myself and my focus in my business. And what I do, I even rebranded myself, and I called myself a psychic soul alignment coach, because soul alignment became so important to me. And soul alignment is so super important now moving forward as we go through, our human history. And so soul's purpose is so super important at this time, because we are going through this ascension process. We're evolving spiritually. And in order for us to evolve and for other people to evolve and to support them with their ascension process, we need to be out here fulfilling our soul's purpose. But I see a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs make the mistake of resisting their soul's purpose. And the reason that a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs resist their soul's purpose is because they feel like their purpose is too big for them, is because they don't really believe in themselves, and they don't believe that that's their purpose, or they don't want to lean into it for whatever reasons. They don't believe that they can do it. And it's because a lot of times they're comfortable doing what they've been doing, and they don't want to break free from it and do this greater thing that they're being called to do. And so that's what keeps people from stepping into their soul's purpose. It's also a resistance that can come up in their journey with confusion and things that make them reject their soul's purpose. So let me give you an example of that, because I am the perfect example of soul's purpose resisting. Last year, some of you who have been following me for some time, you already know, I had a spiritual crisis, and I basically decided to disconnect from my spirit guides, and I disconnect myself from a lot of psychic things, because I decided I was not going to lean into so much of the spiritual stuff, just the ones that I wanted to lean into, like the things that I still resonated with, and everything else I was just done with. And I was going to focus on just mindset and beliefs to create my reality, because that is all it is. And I had this very stern view of, I don't need all of this spiritual stuff anymore, because your beliefs create your reality, and I'm a mindset ninja, and I just need to focus on shifting my beliefs and all this other stuff and move in that direction. And that's what I did. I did that because I felt like that's what I needed to do. we always have free will to explore the things that we want to explore in this lifetime. So we learn and grow from them, right? So that's what I did. But because my soul's purpose here is to be a psychic, is to be a healer. Oh yeah, that's one of the things I resisted last year was like, I'm done with this healing business. I'm just going to focus on mindset, beliefs, and I'll change my reality. And this is what it is, right? So I stepped away from that. I resisted it. Not intentionally, but I resisted it. And because it's my soul's purpose to be a psychic, to be a healer, to be talking to my spirit guides, to develop my psychic abilities even further, and I resisted it, and I just decided, no, I'm just going to do this now. I'm done with this stuff. What ended up happening was major misalignment in my personal life and in my business, especially. It cost me thousands of dollars to be so misaligned after that whole process, because I'm supposed to be doing the work that I'm doing, and I was going completely off track, and I wasn't allowing myself to be supported by the energies that have the capacity to help me, to bring me information that I needed. I was feeling very lost and confused. I was going through so much stuff last year, 2019, because I stepped away from my soul's purpose. And coming back from that has been a journey, has been an interesting journey. And if you've been following me for a while, you probably have seen my transformation from late last year to where I am today. And you've seen the radical difference. And this is because I had to do some major inner work and stuff to realign myself with back to who I truly am and my soul's purpose. Because being misaligned really caused me to have failed launches, to not want to work with people, to be totally misaligned when I put things out there and I wasn't getting results. And it cost me a lot of money, and it didn't allow for me to really make my impact. So this is the biggest thing that I see for spiritual entrepreneurs is everyone is being called to step into a higher level of their purpose. They're being called to step into their soul's purpose, but people are resisting that for whatever reasons, because they don't believe that they can do that big thing that they're being asked to do, because they're going through a spiritual crisis, maybe because they are comfortable doing the things that they've been doing and they don't want to step into this path. I've been channeling for people's soul's purposes, and some people have chosen to step into their soul's purpose, and other people have decided to go and discover things for themselves, like I did, right? And so the faster that you get on your soul's purpose, the better. You get to move forward so much more quickly. And if you want support with stepping into your soul's purpose, understanding what that is, I highly recommend that you purchase my Discover Your Soul's Purpose course. The links to that will be in the description of this video. If you have questions, reach out to me. But this is one of the biggest mistakes, is you're here to bring forward certain teachings, certain knowledge, insights, healing modalities as a spiritual entrepreneur. And so you need to step into your soul's purpose. And if you keep for whatever reasons, then it's not going to allow for you to move forward in the way in which you have the potential to. So it's really important for you to get aligned with your soul's purpose and to step into it, embrace it, allow it to be. Okay. Number 3 is that spiritual entrepreneurs a lot of times make the mistake of being afraid of being themselves. And this is true for entrepreneurs in general, but spiritual entrepreneurs especially have trouble being open with more of who they truly are, authentic, vulnerable. They don't like sharing more of themselves as people, or they only share parts of themselves in certain spaces and they don't feel comfortable sharing it in other places. They're very selective. So they're afraid of being themselves. They're afraid of showing openly, their successes, their failures, their life journey, their challenges right now. They're afraid of sharing that. They're afraid of opening up in that way. They're afraid of opening up about their abilities a lot of times, about their interests, about their true beliefs, because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to lose friendships. They don't want to be outcast in any kind of way. So they're afraid of being themselves. And then there are some entrepreneurs, especially, that are afraid of being in their power and doing what they're doing. And so they don't show up in the form of creating content, in the form of like writing posts or doing videos. So it's all the stuff around being afraid to be themselves. And the more that you continuously make this mistake of being afraid to be you, and you keep resisting just being yourself, it's not going to allow for you to move forward, because you have to be who you truly are to succeed in any kind of business. People buy you, buy your stuff because they like you. They like your personality. They like the way that you deliver things. They like you because of your journey and how your journey is similar to theirs or resonates with them on some level. So you have to be you to attract your people. And if you're not being you because you're embarrassed, you're afraid, I don't know, you have walls up, you think people are going to judge you, whatever it is, and you keep resisting and you just put up walls and you hold yourself back from really being out there and sharing and open and all this other stuff, you're not going to be able to make the connections that you have the potential to make with these people that you're intended to support. And as a result, you're not going to make that money, you're not going to reach those lives, you're not going to make that impact. So it's really important to do the necessary healing work to be yourselves. And a lot of times people are afraid to be themselves because they think that they need to be someone that they're not in order to succeed. They think that they need to present a certain image to be able to attract people. So they try to be something that they're not. They try to present themselves, like especially spiritual entrepreneurs, they try to make things sometimes so pretty, like have all the crystals and the cards and have a little beautiful backdrop behind, their walls for their videos. And they try too hard sometimes, or they try to be, someone that they're not in order to have that success. They think that they need to do that to have that success. And if those things are natural for you, because you enjoy them, because it speaks to you to do those things, keep doing those things, right? But if you're doing them because you think you need to do them for people to like you, for people to notice you, to pay attention to you, to see you as an authority, whatever it is, then you're not being your true self, right? So it's really all about you choosing to be who you truly are and allowing that to be okay, because that is what's going to make you different from everyone else. And that's what's going to attract people to you, right? When I first started doing my videos many years ago, I started embracing more of myself by just not putting myself together anymore, because I decided I'm not going to go through that trouble. I'm sick of this. It's too much work. I don't feel like doing it. I just want to be me, and I want to talk to the people and share what I have to share and let that be enough. And so I would sometimes show up in pajamas or just, whatever. I didn't really put too much effort behind it because I just was embracing more of myself, and I just wanted that to be enough for me. That was a part of my process. That was my journey, right? And over the years, I've found balance here and there depending on what I'm going through, what I'm learning. I'll put myself together a little bit more, whatever. Recently, this week, I've decided, no, this is who I want to be. And I'm putting myself together. I'm wearing the makeup and getting all dressed up and that kind of stuff. But that is because that feels true to me right now. That's because that feels like that's who I am right now. I'm being myself. I'm not doing this so that I present a certain image or so that people think something about me. I'm just being myself. So you have to allow who you are in this moment to be enough to be you. And that's what's going to call people to you, because you're radiating your true energy. Okay. So this is the mistake that I see a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs make, is they're afraid of being themselves. They feel like they have to be like someone else that they look up to, that they admire, or they have to give a certain image. And the more that you do that, the more out of alignment you are with your true self. Your true self is like looking at you, not in a bad way, but is looking at you like, why are you doing this? Just be you. So be yourself. Know that you're enough. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is that a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs think that they must follow a specific business strategy to achieve success. This is the mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make, not just spiritual entrepreneurs. We think like, oh, if I just do that marketing thing, if I just do that strategy, if I just have the branding, then I'll be successful. And we do these specific steps. We create these email funnels, these lists, these whatever it is, thinking that that's going to help us to achieve success. And when spiritual entrepreneurs fall into this trap, it's worse for you guys, because as spiritual entrepreneurs, we are here to be led by spirit. We are here to be soul-led, to allow our inner guidance to lead the path, and to understand that that's going to look different from person to person. That's going to look different from moment to moment, from program to program, or offer to offer that you're doing, and to trust in that. But a lot of times spiritual entrepreneurs, because, sometimes they're new to entrepreneurship, or they just don't believe in themselves, they just don't trust themselves, they don't have really a deep connection to their intuition, whatever it is, they think that they must do these things to succeed. Now, some spiritual entrepreneurs, I'm sure, follow certain strategies and it works for them, and that's good. But a lot of people who are here to do more soul-aligned work, in a sense, like they're meant to be led more by their inner guidance, you guys especially need to understand that there is no specific concrete strategy that needs to be done. You just need to allow your inner guidance to lead you, and that's what's going to help you to achieve the success that you want. And sometimes the inner guidance is not going to make any sense. It's not going to look right. I have so many people online that I see that think that entrepreneurs shouldn't charge, for example, for some small offer or like a challenge, they shouldn't charge any low cost. Like, I have been judged in the past by other business coaches because I was guided to create something like a challenge and it was low cost. It was maybe under $50. And those people observed my offer and they thought I wasn't valuing myself and that I wasn't, really seeing my worth and all this other crap, and that I was doing it wrong. Right? And they were trying to school me on, some other stuff. Anyway, the point is that was what my inner guidance was telling me. First of all, that's what my guides asked me to do. But even if you don't have guides, like even before I was able to clearly communicate with my guides the way I do now, I felt like this inner guidance of like, oh, I need to do this and it needs to cost like around this much, right? And doing those things that sometimes don't make sense are what lead you to your greatest successes. So just because I offered something maybe low cost, it actually ended up paying off so much afterwards or down the line because certain people stepped into that. They know what it's like to work with me. They got to experience that. I've built trust with them. I have provided them with so much value that's helped them. And as a result, they work with me immediately right away, or they have me on their list as the top people that they want to work with. And they invest in even higher level offers because they were able to experience my work on this level. So they're very keen to invest thousands of dollars to work with me later on down the road because they love my energy, they love how I teach, they love what I give them. So that's how it works out in the end. But if I allow people who think they know better to come and tell me, you're undervaluing yourself, you should be charging more for this or whatever business they want to tell me, and then I doubt, and then I don't do the thing, and then I don't reach the people that I'm meant to be reaching with my offers, and it just throws everything off course later down the road. So spiritual entrepreneurs are here to follow their inner guidance. And that's what I teach people. I teach people not to be like me, not to try to replicate my own stuff, but to be themselves and to learn to trust in themselves, to learn to really believe in themselves, to learn to really be able to tune into their inner guidance, because that's what's going to teach them. That's what's going to help them again and again and again as they move forward beyond, our work together, right? So this is a mistake that I see a lot of times. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you think that you have to follow a specific strategy, that is not the truth, okay? You don't have to follow a specific strategy to succeed. You have to follow the strategy that is in alignment for you, your soul at this time. That's what's going to allow for you to succeed, okay? Number 5, and this is a big one, biggest mistakes that spiritual entrepreneurs make that cost them thousands of dollars and keep them from making their impact is a lot of money stuff, money mindset stuff, money issues hold people back from really being able to succeed as an entrepreneur. Now, I could do so much, like I could speak so much on this topic because it's really a profound topic that I could address so many things about, but I'm only going to talk to this, level that I can in this video because this video is like about an hour or so, okay? But with the money issues, the biggest mistake that I see in regards to money issues that spiritual entrepreneurs make is money becomes the focus of their business unintentionally over true service. So I know you guys, you want to help the world, you want to share your gifts, you want to make an impact, but when you have bills to pay, when you have debt you have to pay off, when, coronavirus type stuff is happening and you can't go to work and now you have to make your business work. And then you're like, oh crap, I need to make money from this business now. Money then becomes the focus and service doesn't. And it gets you radically out of alignment because you're dropping into your head and you're not in your heart. And this keeps you from really being able to manifest the clients that you need to be manifesting or you have the potential to manifest. This is one of the biggest things that I see with entrepreneurs And it is a bit of a process to shift out of that 100%. But I wanted to bring that up to your awareness in case this is you at this time. If you've been wondering, why am I not able to get these clients? I really want to help them and I need this money and I want to help people and all this other stuff. It's because you're probably focused too much on the money, and it's what's throwing the energy off, and you're not really aligning yourself to source. So this is what keeps you from actually being able to attract those people to then have the impact, okay? Now, in regards to money, I have a few other things that I want to say, because again, this is a very in-depth topic that needs to be addressed, but I hope that all of this helps you in some kind of way, even if it's just raising your awareness at this point. A lot of spiritual entrepreneurs have trouble charging their worth. They feel like their work needs to be free. They feel guilty because as spiritual entrepreneurs, we want to help people. We want to make a difference. We want to help them with our information, our knowledge, our gifts. We see people struggling and we really want to help them out. And this was actually something that I saw like a day or two ago in another YouTube channel with someone who left a comment and was saying that they were struggling with this kind of thing. And what I know from my own experience and what I shared with that person is that, first of all, our work is not here to be free. Okay. The universe is a balanced universe, as I shared in my video around busting through the illusion of scarcity. If you're watching on YouTube, it will be in the cards here. You can click on that after you watch this video. But in that video, I talked about how the universe is perfect and everything is in harmony here. Energy is constantly flowing. It's going in and out, right? And so when it comes to being of service, when we're being of service, we're giving of our energy. It's only natural for us to receive energy in return, and energy in the form of money or whatever else. And so our work is not meant to be free. We are giving energy. The laws of the universe state that we are meant to be receiving energy. Now, the reason that a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs feel all this guilt is they have to work through a lot of money stuff in order to release that guilt and understand that they're being of the highest of service to humanity by charging their worth. Because what happens is when you're charging your worth, you're allowing for that flow to be sustained in the world. You're remaining in harmony with the universe when you give yourself permission to charge your worth. Also, when you charge your worth, you're giving the other person who is struggling or having challenges or whatever, you're giving them the opportunity to step into their power, to rise up above their challenges or circumstances. You're seeing them as more of who they truly are instead of seeing them from their ego form and perpetuating more of that victimhood. Because when you're looking at people and you're saying, oh, poor them, they don't have the money to pay me, I just feel so sorry for them because they really need my help, and maybe I should reduce my prices. Like, no, you're doing them a great disservice because you're not allowing them to step into their power, take personal responsibility over their lives, and believe in themselves and believe in the universe, and to step up and make it happen somehow. Because this is our life. We are each responsible for our lives. We each have the opportunity, the possibility to somehow be resourceful enough to make it happen if we really wanted to. But if you keep feeding into their stories, you're just disempowering them. You're giving them the opportunity to stay where they've been at instead of seeing them in their true light and helping them to rise up. So I speak this from experience because I started my business in Peru, third world country. I shared my story a lot in that video, Busting Through the Illusion of Scarcity, so go check out that video. But I know what it is to not have money and for things to cost a lot or whatever. But when you really want something and when you really are ready to step into your power, you find a way to make it happen. You stop finding excuses. You don't continue to blame your children or the situation, the economy, the circumstances, your upbringing, whatever it is. You don't keep putting responsibility on that stuff. You step into your power and you make it happen. Okay, this is how we help people to break free from the pattern of scarcity or the struggles. We help them by giving them the opportunity to rise up and to break free from that themselves. Okay, so this is what it is. I charge thousands of dollars for my VIP coaching and for my programs, but for people who want to be on my level, for people who want to achieve the level of success that I have, who want to be able to do similar things that I have done, they have to rise up to me. I'm not going to go down to their level. They have to come up to where I am at. And so if they're ready to be at this level of personal power, this level of success, this level of impact, they want to be this kind of leader, then they have to come up here and meet me where I'm at. That's what true leaders do. We allow people to come up to where we're at. We don't go down to where they're at. Okay? that is how we help people the most. So let go of your guilt, your shame, or whatever for charging. If you feel inspired to create a discount or to do something low cost, by all means do that. Okay, if this is coming from within you, but don't do it from that place of, oh my God, I have to do it because poor them. Because otherwise, you're not flowing with the universe. You're doing those people a disservice. You're not giving them the opportunity to rise up. So shift that. Second thing is that, and this is connected to that, is a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs make the assumption that people can't pay for their services. People can't pay for their coaching programs or their offers or their courses because of their financial situation, because of whatever is going on. And they feel like, oh my God, poor this person. They don't make the level of income necessary to pay for this stuff that I'm offering. Like, no, stop that. Stop assuming that people can't pay for what you are offering. Okay, you don't know that. You don't know what's going on in their finances. You don't know how resourceful they are, what resources they have. You don't know any of that stuff. Stop projecting your own crap onto the people. Stop doing that. I speak this from experience. I'm telling you because I know. And when I stopped doing that, people started coming into my life and paying me and signing up for my stuff. I've had, and I even shared this in the video that I did around the coronavirus and scarcity issues. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube soon. If you're watching on Facebook, it's on my business page. But in that video, I shared how I've had clients that were disemployed or unemployed. I'm making up words. They were unemployed and they signed up for private coaching with me because they decided to put it on their credit cards. That was their personal choice. They decided to pay me that money in full right away and signed up to work with me. And they took that leap of faith. And as a result, that person went and made more than $100,000 that year. They manifested that stuff. So, and I've had other people, from single income families, women with like 6 children and only 1 income household, come and sign up to work with me on some level. So you don't know what people are capable of. You don't know what they're ready for or whatever it is. So stop projecting your stuff onto people. You need to see people in their true light, their true power. Dang it, I'm going to move my camera. You need to see people in their true light and their true power and allow them to decide to step up. That's their choice. You just have to hold the space for them. Okay. Another thing is that people feel guilty around charging so much. They have all this guilt around, I should make my stuff cheaper. And the thing is that you're doing people a great disservice. And I know this from experience because when I lowered certain prices in certain things that I've done that I know should have been more, could have been more, I felt like certain people weren't really taking advantage of what I was giving them. They weren't giving it their all. And as a result, they didn't get the results that they wanted or that they could have gotten. Because if there was a certain price tag behind that, they would have shown up. Like I know every time I have invested, because I always invest to greater and greater levels. And because it costs me more money, I show up 100%. I make sure I get my money's worth to get the best results from whatever it is that I'm investing in because it's costing me. So I show up 100%. But then there are some people that if it's not at a certain price point for them, then yeah, they'll invest, they'll initially be excited or whatever it is, but then they slack. Then they, find excuses. They don't move forward with the things and then they don't they don't get the results that they want. And then when people aren't getting the results, you're not making your impact. That's what this whole thing is about, is helping people to make an impact. And so when we charge according to what is in alignment for us, what is reflective of the value of what we're offering, but what's also going to help people to really rise up into a higher level of themselves, what's actually going to really light a fire under their butt to get moving. So you don't need to be feeling guilty about charging so much because it's for everyone's highest good. And it's ultimately, what you feel called to charge is allowing you to continue to move forward and make your impact. So you need to shift whatever beliefs you have around that and to be okay with it. Other mistakes in regards to money issues, money mindset that entrepreneurs have is that they don't promote regularly. Dang it, phone notification. Anyway, they have issues with promoting regularly because they feel like uncomfortable. For some people, it's uncomfortable promoting themselves, sharing about their offers. They hold back, they hide. Like I am making such a big effort this year, especially more than ever, to promote as often as I can something, whatever it is, whether it's my group, whether it's my social media, whether it's a course, some kind of session with me, whatever it is, but I'm constantly promoting something. And so you have to let go of that embarrassment or that discomfort that you feel with promoting yourself and just get comfortable, because that's how you make an impact. You have to constantly be talking about what you're doing, who you are, what you have to offer, because not everyone's going to see your stuff all the time. You might think that everyone's seeing it, but because of the nature of social media and algorithms and that kind of stuff, most people don't see it. They don't get to see those things. And so they miss out on amazing opportunities that you're offering just because it's not, it's not visible to them. Maybe they decided to not be on social media for a few days, or they've been really busy and they've missed your stuff, whatever it is. So how you make your impact is regularly promoting yourself and feeling good about that and blasting yourself, basically, right? Online, everywhere, wherever you're at, to let people know how they can work with you, how they can benefit from working with you. Okay. And another thing that I want to talk about in regards to money mindset and the money issues in general that spiritual entrepreneurs have issues with is that a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs feel weird about sales calls. And I know this was me 100%, but there's a lot of discomfort with sales calls because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, a lot of expectations. We overcomplicate it. We make it harder than it needs to be. Sales calls don't have to be sleazy. They don't have to be uncomfortable. They don't have to feel weird in any kind of way. It's our responsibility, though, to understand why it feels weird for us, why we're feeling comfortable, and to work through those things, because that's not how it has to be. And ever since I really started embracing sales calls and just, allowing myself to speak from flow and love more than anything, it's just been so much easier for me. Okay. So this is what it's really about, is getting all of that out the way, because that's what's going to allow for you to be of the highest of service to people, to actually speak to the people who are interested in your work, to let them know everything that you have to offer, and to be able to sign them if that's the next step for them. And then this is how you make the money and you make your impact. Okay. You have to get rid of your money issues 100%. This has to go. Has to go for you to make your impact and for you to live your best life. Okay. Number 6 is spiritual entrepreneurs not always, but spiritual entrepreneurs make the mistake of constantly seeking external validation from the universe instead of trusting themselves. So this a lot of times looks like them saying, oh, I need to see the sign from the universe before I can move forward. I need to see the signs from the universe before I can believe that this is going to happen. So spiritual entrepreneurs, a lot of times we lean too much on the universe, on this external force, thinking that before we can move forward, we have to have the universe validate that first. Or before we can believe in this success that we want, that we're creating, we have to see the universe confirming or validating that in some way. And you need to understand that, especially now moving forward. I think I've discussed this in my yearly energy reading on my channel. So if you're watching, go check out the yearly energy reading. The card will be up there. But this is the year for us to connect more to who we truly are, to our higher selves, to our own spiritual selves, which means we need to learn to trust in our own inner guidance. We need to trust and believe in ourselves. And that's why a lot of people lately that I've been speaking to have a lot of issues with believing in themselves. They're really that's like the final little thing that is holding them back from really stepping into another level, is this higher belief in themselves. And you need to understand that at this point, especially depending on where you're at in your spiritual journey, okay, for those of you that are more evolved, more advanced, you need to stop relying on the universe and thinking, I need the universe to tell me, everything's going to be okay, everything's going to work out, I just need to sign. No, you need to believe in yourself. You need to trust in yourself. That's the mistake you keep making, is you're waiting for them or it or whoever outside of you, because we're all the one the all, but you're waiting for that to happen before you really trust and believe and know, and just be in your power and own it. And no, you need to really get yourself together with yourself. And again, with people who are just starting out the journey, it's okay if you ask for signs sometimes and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to feel bad about that, okay? But the thing is that when you are seeking all the time this external validation from the universe to give you permission to move forward with something that you feel called to do, with something that your inner guidance is telling you, like, hey, go do that, go talk about that, go create that, go invest in that. And you're like, oh, I don't know if I should do it. Universe, please confirm. No, you need to learn to trust in your inner guidance. Sometimes the universe will give you confirmation. Sometimes the universe will show something in your face again and again, like, yes, move forward with this. Yes, do this. Yes, go invest in this. Yes, go be this, whatever. Sometimes the universe will do this to help you, but you need to start really shifting into, hey, that's what my inner guidance is saying. I got to trust in that. I got to move forward with it and let that be enough. And it's going to work out if you do this. So stop seeking constant external validation. Learn to trust in your own inner guidance and what you feel, and allow that to lead the way. Okay. Number 7 is spiritual entrepreneurs a lot of times make the mistake of quite often being too much in their like feminine energy, and they don't have enough balance between the feminine and the masculine energies. So by this, I mean spiritual entrepreneurs, again, as I was saying earlier, they're kind of like this free-flowing kind of energy. And they are like, I don't want to be structured. I don't want a specific schedule. I don't want to be in a niche. I just want to flow. I just want to do my thing. But you need to understand that the best way to have success is you need to have balance in your energy, and you need to have a balance between the masculine and the feminine. And the masculine does have a certain level of structure, does have a certain level of clarity, does take a certain level of action. And the feminine is, flexible, is surrendering, is creative. You need to have that balance. And so quite often spiritual entrepreneurs will be a little bit too much in the feminine, and they won't take action when they need to be taking action. They won't have certain structure when they need to have structure to support them in being able to actually get things done, right? They don't, what is it that they don't do? What else? They don't do these things, basically. They're too much in the feminine. They're kind of just, they're like in a lot of times a disempowered feminine, because we have both an empowered and a disempowered masculine energy, and an empowered and disempowered feminine energy. Or someone on Instagram shared it brilliantly recently. I can't remember what she said. It's like integrated and disintegrated. And so I think that's what she said. It was like integrated feminine is like the divine feminine. It's like the positive feminine qualities, and the disintegrated, I don't know if that's the word, but whatever, is like the negative feminine qualities. And the same goes for the masculine. And so a lot of times we get too much in like that disempowered feminine energy, where we're not really clear-headed, we're not really focused, we're not really taking action on things. We're just kind of like in limbo, just not really getting things done and not really moving forward with anything. And that's what a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs do a lot of times, is they're just in the limbo and they're not getting things done. They're not seeing progress, they're not seeing results, they're not being consistent with the things that they're needing to be doing to have that impact. So this is why a lot of people don't have consistent visibility. They don't promote consistently. They don't connect with people consistently. They don't do all of these things that are essential to their business growth and success. And so you need to find that balance. You need to find a flow, a structure that works for you, that just helps you to move forward with making your impact, because this is how you're going to be able to attract those clients, to make the money and, make the impact. So when you have that flow that works for you, and this is a fine balance that you figure out on your own, and it's going to constantly shift depending on what you're going through in your life and what you have going on. But it doesn't have to be a rigid thing, but it's it's something that you need to figure out for yourself, so that it constantly like allows you to move forward instead of holding you back. Okay. So this is a mistake that a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs make. Number 8 is, and this is a really big one that I really want to speak to, because I notice this a lot for the more advanced spiritual entrepreneurs especially, is a lot of more advanced spiritual entrepreneurs are too in their heads, and they have too much ego because they think they know so much. There's a point sometimes where people on the spiritual journey, they have so much information that they're too up here. Like, I've been speaking to several people in recent weeks where they know, like, yes, I know I'm having this issue because of my worthiness, or I have this issue because I'm afraid of this, or because I have this, and like they mentally, intellectually, like understand what's holding them back, what's the issue is. but they're not really dropping into their hearts, and they're not really processing the things that they need to process in order to move forward. So they don't really release this energy that will allow for them to propel themselves forward, because they're just like too much in their heads. They're just like, yeah, I see what the problem is. I see, da, 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 da. And it's really up here, and they're not really releasing emotionally what they need to let go of. And that holds them back, because they hold on to the energy that keeps them out of alignment and doesn't allow for them to move forward. And then the other side of that is there's a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs that are more advanced, that they have all this knowledge of, the universe and consciousness and reality and all this other stuff. And they think that they know so much that they can't benefit from what other people in that same field have to share with them. And it's an unintentional arrogance is how I see it. And it's an unintentional, like, yeah, I know all this stuff. I know all this stuff. Like, I don't know if there's anything you can teach me. And it's like, well, if you really did know so much, sweetheart, then things would be working out for you, wouldn't they? But they're not. So why aren't they? Maybe you don't know as much as you think. And that's the cold hard truth. So I have had to learn this on my own journey, because I'm an Aquarius. And Aquariuses are very intellectual. And especially because my strongest psychic ability is I know things, I'm claircognizant, whatever the label is that you want to give it. And I have had a tendency to constantly think that I know so much and that I can't learn anything new from anyone or whatever, or that I know better, all this crap. And I've had to consistently work on that to become more humble and understand, no, when you think you know everything, that's when you know nothing. Stephanie, you got to get it together. You don't know squat. You're learning every single day. And so I've had to really become more humble around that and be very mindful of that when I catch myself even falling back into those things, which I don't really do anymore. Thank goodness. But I've had to really understand, like, no, I don't know anything. And I'm constantly learning. And when you think that you know so much, then that's when things aren't working out for you, even in spite of your knowledge, then there's something out of alignment there that you're not getting. There's something there that you need to take a closer look at. Because if you really knew your stuff and your stuff was working out for you and you really believe that stuff and whatever, then you wouldn't be having the challenges that you're having. So if you're having certain challenges, there's something there that you may have to look at more closely. So take a closer look at yourself. Do you find yourself falling in that ego trap of, yeah, I know all of this stuff. I don't think that this person can teach me anything new. Because if that's you, you need to shift that, because you're doing yourself a great disservice from potentially working with people or receiving knowledge or experiences or insights from others that can help you to connect the dots between all the information you already have in a way that works for you and allows for you to move forward. Okay, that's sometimes what it is we have all this information and we think we know it all, but when we open ourselves up to the opportunity of working with someone who can bring a different point of view of all of that stuff, they can help us kind of connect things in a way that really allows for us to really understand things, embody things on a greater level, and really be able to work with it in a better way that allows for us to move forward in our path much more easily. Okay? So this is what I have learned over the last few years again and again, because yes, it has been an interesting journey. And when I was willing to get my ego out of the way and just be like, you know what, I'm going to do this thing, even though I think I'm not going to learn anything new from this, but I'm going to take this course or do this thing or whatever and see what happens and do it. And as a result of that, for the most part, I knew a lot of the information sometimes, but then there were certain bits and pieces that were new to me, or new perspectives that were absolutely critical, that made such a different positive shift inside of my brain that really helped me to integrate things more deeply. And a lot of times those things gave me the opportunity to process my own stuff and make sense of it, and just made my journey much more direct because I gave myself the opportunity. So this is the biggest mistake that I see a lot in more advanced spiritual entrepreneurs, especially, is if you think you know so much, but then you're struggling in your business, then there's something there you have to look at more closely. Okay, you have to be really open and honest with yourself about that and recognize that there's something there that's not working. Okay, and get help for that. All right, and the last thing I want to share with you guys today is a lot of times spiritual entrepreneurs make the mistake of thinking that physical action leads to results. So there's this belief of, well, if I just promote, if I just write this course, if I just write this post or create this course, then I will get this result. And that's not the truth. The truth is that, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur, because we're more connected to spirit, because we are more developed in terms of our consciousness, because our vibration is often much higher, because we've been working on ourselves and we've been healing, because we're at this higher kind of level, we have to be to get the results. We have to become to get the results. So we have to be at a certain level of consciousness and vibrational frequency to get the results. We're not like most normal people where they can do things to get the results. If I just create this, if I just reach out to this person, if I just do this, then this will lead to the success. People, in the normal world, I don't know what to call them, but these people who are not yet on the spiritual path in this way, they can still kind of get away with that. They can still work in that way, operate in the 3D reality that we're in, or the reality that they're in, from that space. But spiritual entrepreneurs that are at a higher level in terms of their consciousness and their vibrational energy, we have to be before we can receive. Being, showing up from this space, doing things from this space of alignment, that is what will help us get the results. So if you're marketing your post, or you're marketing some kind of offer, and you think, oh, I'm just going to do this because if I promote myself, that's going to get me the results. And you think that's what's going to get you the results, but then nobody sees it, nobody engages with it, nobody reaches out to you about it. It's not necessarily the action that you took. It's that you weren't probably taking the action from an energy of more of who you truly are, being more in your true power. And your energy was out of alignment, and that's why you're not getting the results. That's what it is. You have to be that person. You have to show up from that space. You have to literally be vibrating that as you do things. And that's what will get you the success that you want. It's all about being. And now more than ever, as we're going through this ascension process, it's really important to be to create in this reality. We have to be what we want to, the version of ourselves that we want to be, to create the lives that we want to have. It starts with you first. You have to be at this higher level. And that's what will help you to get those results. So a lot of people don't do that. They think, oh, if I just do this, I create this, I promote this, then I'll get this. It doesn't work that way. You have to be first and foremost. Whew. So these are the 9 mistakes that I felt called to share with you guys today on the mistakes that spiritual entrepreneurs make that keep them from being able to make their impact and cost them thousands of dollars. Because again, with this last one that I just shared, if you're not really showing up from this space and your energy's out of alignment with all the action steps you are taking, then you're going to fail to attract these people. You're not going to attract the clients. You're not going to get the money. So you have to shift internally. Internal work is so important. Coming back to the truth of who you are is so important. This is how you really wield the power to create your reality deliberately. If you want more support with this, I really encourage you to sign up for my waitlist for my Soul Aligned Impact program. This is my 8-week program where I help you to really do very deep levels of mindset and healing to really align yourself with more of who you truly are so that you're able to show up from this space, adopt this new identity, and be able to create magic in your life. So if you want to be on the waitlist for that, the link to that will be in the description below. To sign up for my sign up for my checklist. I have a Soul Aligned Impact checklist. It gives you the 10 pillars to creating a soul aligned business. And by signing up for that, you'll be on the wait list for the program. So let me go through these comments. Let me see who's on here. It's to market the clear niche when there's so much one can offer. Yes, you can. Okay, so the question here is, about niching, and you have so much to offer a person, and how do you find that balance? When you have all of these things that you can offer people to help them, how do you get that niche? You really have to go within and explore yourself and see what you're truly being called to by your soul to do at this time, to support people with at this time. And then from that space, of what you're feeling called to do, how you're feeling called to make an impact in the world from that space, then you see how all the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, the things that you know about, that you have to offer, can support that. But a lot of times spiritual entrepreneurs make the mistake of, well, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. So based on what I do, how can I create a business? How can I do this? It's a big mistake. That's not how it works for soul line businesses. Soul line businesses, it has to come from your soul. You have to really tune into what your soul is asking you to do, what your soul wants for you to bring forward. And then based from that, you then incorporate all of these different things to make it cohesive. That is what I help people with in my Discover Your Soul's Purpose course. So check out that in the description. Hey, Tina. Who else is on here? Hey, Liz. So agree with that. I actually have not been in a group due to making sure I would not copy others. Awesome. I love that you said that, because if you haven't been in a group because you didn't want to copy others, a lot of times that's a sign that you need to take the time to really discover who you truly are. Because when you really have a strong connection with who you truly are, then you don't have to worry about copying other people. You're so tuned into yourself that you're able to naturally and effortlessly channel your soul's essence and everything that you do. And you don't have to copy from people at all. Like, that's just not an option. You can maybe take inspiration from people, but how you bring it forward will be uniquely to you. But when you're afraid of copying people, that's when a lot of times it indicates that you're not really strong in your personal identity and who you are. And you easily kind of like allow yourself to be influenced by other people and kind of create, I guess, your personality in a way, or who you are. But when you're strong in yourself, you just know this is me, and you just go out there and shine and you do your thing, right? So, for example, I recently took I don't know what it's called, like a free training. It was a free training for organic marketing, organic traffic. And I decided to take it because, one, someone that I look up to and admire, or someone I respect, was promoting it. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me see what this is about. I'm always willing to learn. I recognize I don't know everything. So if there's something I can learn here that could maybe benefit me and people I know that I could share with, then by all means, let's go do it. So I went and did it. Now, this person has been really highly successful with their marketing strategy and efforts and things like that. And they shared all these ideas. And, you know, a lot of the stuff I knew, but there were some things that were kind of new to me. So I was like, okay, cool. I hadn't thought about it that way. And the point is that this person has a certain way of doing things. And if I wasn't strong in myself, I would be like, okay, I need to like do what he's doing now to get success because he's doing it too. And if he was so successful with it, then I need to do it too. But because I'm strong in who I am, I'm just like, you know what? That strategy isn't in alignment for me. Like I know my soul is like, no, we don't do things that way. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to market in that way. Not going to use those strategies or tactics. No. Or if I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it in my own way so it feels good to me. And so I can take some inspiration from some things that I learned from there, but I do it in my own way so that it feels good to me because I know who I am. So this is the importance of knowing who you truly are. That's what I help people with in my Remembering Who You Are program. So if you guys are ever interested in that and you see that in the future, then be sure to sign up for that. So important. Not every doing will work for everyone. We are all different people. Yes, exactly. Thank you for saying that stuff. You're so welcome, Paula. How many times we listen to others but not our intuition? Yes, exactly. Hey, Vet, how are you? Thank you for joining. So glad I caught you today. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Paula, that's me. I struggle with that. I have many that reach out and can't pay, so I feel bad and help them. Okay, so I need you to really work through that stuff because there is no need for people to be reaching out to you all the time. We manifest that. First of all, I teach my clients, all of them on some level, that they're the creators of their reality. So if they're experiencing anything that doesn't feel good to them, they're creating that. They have to own that. They have to see what that's about to shift that and no longer keep creating that. So when we create people who are constantly in the lack and the scarcity and reaching out to us, that's misalignment within ourselves. And when we can shift the things within ourselves, we cease to attract those people. So one of those things could probably be setting boundaries with those people, letting go of the guilt around setting boundaries, letting go of the guilt of saying no to people and sending them away and feeling bad because, oh my God, now they're not going to get the help, like letting go of that and having your boundaries overstepped, and yeah, letting go of that guilt of helping everyone. You're not here to help everyone. You're here to help the people who truly want to be helped. And people who truly want to be helped step into their power. They're the ones that are showing up and finding the ways to make things happen. So if they really, really want to be helped, then they're going to find a way to be able to pay you for your support. It's just fair, and it's in integrity for everyone for them to do that. Otherwise, if people are constantly expecting freebies and stuff all the time, like, that's just disrespectful to them as well, because they're not really valuing themselves. They're not really seeing their worth and that they're worthy of that support, and they're worthy of making that investment in themselves. So shift that stuff. Tina, thank you for sharing. This was enlightening and inspirational as always. Hug. You're so welcome, Tina. Thank you for joining. Hey, Sprinkle. That's what I did. Cool. Awesome. As a spiritual entrepreneur, how do you handle selling to your friends if they ask you for help? How do I handle? Well, first of all, I think it depends on the person, because I am in the business of making friends and working with my friends and supporting my friends. So for me, it's natural for me to have my friends want to work with me and pay me to receive my support. So I don't have an issue with that personally. But if I were in the place of, and I really need you to, in that case, look into beliefs that you have around why your friends are different from like your ideal clients. Like, why is there a distinction? Why can't your friends be part of your ideal clients, right? I need you to understand, like, oh, I'm just here to help these people, but not my friends, because my friends are separate. Like, no, you have your ideal client. And if your friends fall under that category, then why wouldn't they work with you? That's the way I see it. And so I love helping my friends. I love working with my friends. In fact, like, that's what I purposely do, like, manifest, is working with my friends. Like, I want to know the people that I'm working with, because of having that relationship is so important to me. For everyone that knows me, you know, I'm big on genuine, authentic relationships. And so I really want to feel like I've known that person for a while, to work with them one-on-one or in my group programs. And yeah, it just feels good to me that way. So I'm sure not everyone that works with me falls into that category, but most people do. So I would just release, in that case, if you have any issues with working with friends, if it makes you uncomfortable in any way, then look into that. Why exactly does it make you uncomfortable? What is it that you're afraid will happen? Because there might be some limiting beliefs and fears there around, oh, what if I help my friend and I don't help them? You know, I don't do a good job with them. They don't see the results, and then they stop being my friend and I lose this friend and all that stuff. Like, you have to look at what your limiting beliefs and stuff, issues with that is, and clear that, because that doesn't have to be the case. So shift that stuff, and then you'll allow yourself to have greater levels of success. Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions? So that's basically it. I really hope that this has helped you. If you enjoyed watching this video on YouTube, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, a like, wherever you're watching from. Be sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of these teachings. Drop me a comment as to your thoughts around this video, what you got out of this, any questions you may have, because that might inspire me to do another video related to this. I have playlists on my YouTube channel for spiritual entrepreneurs. So there's one called Create Your Impact as a Spiritual Entrepreneur. I would really suggest that you go check that out. I'll put that up there in the cards for you to click on that to watch that playlist and watch those videos. So if any of you guys watching are interested in working with me in any of one of my programs, you want to work with me privately, then reach out to me, send me a message, let me know, and we'll see what issues you have and how I can support you. If I have something that I can offer you to, I can't talk right now. If I have something that I can offer to you at this time to help you with whatever it is that you're going through. So if that interests you, reach out to me, send me a message. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really hope that this has helped you. I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.